How you feel about your food can affect your weight. Can the attitude that you have about food and diet affect how much you weigh? The answer to that question is yes. Gather a group of middle-aged women and you can tell who is most likely to be overweight already and at a higher risk of becoming obese by their attitudes about food. A study of 200 women, with the average age being 46, divided them into 5 different groups based on their attitudes on food, diet and health. The women were then compared based on factors such as body mass index, BMI, body fat percentage and waist size. The groups that were the lowest in these categories were the foodies, creative cooks that were determined to feed their families good food, and those who were concerned about nutrition for themselves and for their families. The group that had the highest weights was the guilt-ridden and impulsive eaters dietaries group. The middle group were women who had very busy lives or were too preoccupied to cook or even eat nutritious meals, and they were also likely to have weight issues, although not as badly as the other 2 groups. Source: Science Daily 2009. Geraldine is a self-avowed foodie. There is nothing that she likes better than trying new foods and recipes for her family. They never know what gourmet delight she will be bringing to her table and they love her for it. Trim and toned, even well into her 40s, she also makes sure that she's exercising and taking care of herself. She's one of the first to read new studies about health and nutrition and has never succumbed to a fad or trendy diet. For her and her family, it is only healthy foods with variety and freshness that makes them all thrilled to death. In fact, Geraldine blushed bright red when her husband admitted that the guys at work are jealous of the lunches that he brings in his lunchbox and that he would never give up his luscious, fresh and nutritious foods for the stale offerings in the vending machine. Deborah reads all of the information about nutrition that she can get her hands on. She studies the books, she watches all of the programs and she reads all of the studies. She can tell you how many calories are in the foods that she puts in front of her children and her husband. She can tell you how many carbohydrate grams, protein grams and fat grams are in these foods. She can tell you what the best food choices are for every stage of life. She is able to decipher a food label faster than some registered dietitians. She would not dream of feeding her family white flour, white sugar or unhealthy fats at all. Foods are healthy, freshly prepared and mostly organic. She would rather spend a little more money on the foods that she buys for her family than sacrifice health and nutrition. For Deborah, it is only the best foods that she can find or nothing at all. Shirley is overweight, and sadly, so is her husband, one of her 2 sons and both of her daughters. She is a guilt-ridden dieter and has dragged her family along on the roller coaster ride of her up and down weight. There are stacks of diet books and guides on the kitchen counter, everything from Atkins to the Zone. None of them have worked for more than a week or 2 with her and the family. There are a treadmill and other assorted pieces of equipment wearing a thick coating of dust in her garage. Nobody ever broke the seal on the last 10 videos that she bought. Shirley will see an ad or read an article and become worried about her own health as well as that of her family and will vow to start eating more healthfully. Sadly, she will start off strong, ridding her entire home of anything that does not go with the new diet plan. The family is not consulted when she starts a new program, which she starts for them as well. After a few days, the complaints will begin and she starts to feel a little guilty about what she had done, so she swings by and picks up a big gooey pizza on her way home. Shirley needs to learn to stop with her all-or-nothing thinking and find a diet plan that allows her family to eat healthy and nutritious foods that are still delicious and familiar so that they do not rebel and succumb to the first craving that strikes. Donna is overweight. Most of Donna's family is also overweight. They are a family of impulsive eaters, they see food and just eat it without a single thought. They rarely stop to think about the calorie count of a food or whether or not it was a good food choice. Most of the time, they are finished with a meal and gone again before they even realize what they are eating. Donna has finished off the family's plates while loading the dishwasher. Her husband once ate most of a half-gallon container of ice cream without even getting out a bowl. Donna's doctor is horrified by her weight gain, but worse, her health numbers are horrible, her blood pressure is high, she has high cholesterol and her blood sugar numbers are completely out of whack. If she does not get her weight under control, she is facing even more serious health concerns. Her husband also has high blood pressure and has already had one heart-related scare in the past few years. Shelley is one of the women in the middle category listed in the study. She is busy working a full-time job, going to school and raising 3 children on her own. She rarely takes the time to eat, let alone eat a healthy meal. She makes sure that her children are well fed, of course, but for herself, the time is just not there. She is not seriously overweight, but she could lose a few pounds. She needs to start taking better care of herself so that she can in turn take better care of her family. She also needs to set a better example for her children so that they do not enter their teen years with unhealthy attitudes about food and their weight. What do all of these women have in common? They all could benefit from using ProfectR or ProasisR protein supplements in their diet. Both products from Protica have 25 grams of protein but only 100 calories per serving and are available in several fruit-based flavors. There are a number of other sizes to use in addition to a single serve vial that is only 2.9 fluid ounces in total. ProfectR can be frozen, boiled or can be used as is. In addition, the supplement can be mixed with other foods or beverages as well as consumed straight from the vial. There are 0 fats and 0 carbs and each serving has 100% of the RDI of vitamin C.